Toccoa, Ironhorse Motorcycle Lodge. It's early Saturday morning. Sun's still trying to come up, and looks like we're going to get rained on the whole way, so going to be a rainy ride. Thought I might just give you clips here and there of the ride, and I don't know, this GoPro, I guess when the wind is hitting it, it clears off the rain, but you know, I don't know what that may look like. But we've got the GS1200 up and running this morning, loaded up, and clicked over to rain mode. Got on the Gore-Tex, and I guess we're gonna check it out once again and hopefully stay dry as we head to Asheville. We're going to be stopping over in Asheville at the BMW dealership. It's Eurosport of Asheville. We're going to be stopping in there, and it's time for some maintenance on this bike. So while I'm over in this area, I'm going to go ahead and let them do that, and then we're going to head on back to East Tennessee from there. But thought I would just do a little bit of recording here in the mountains of North Carolina in the rain. We're going to be hitting the slab up here in a minute, and I'm not sure how much it's rained overnight, but it looks like maybe quite a bit. So we're gonna get up here and just see what it's like. And I'll tell you, it's beautiful back in here in these mountains. And you think there's a little gold mine like that sitting back there where you can come on your motorcycle and get away from everything, and everything's furnished if you want it. Right there. Food, bed, internet, which there was a big crowd there. There's a Horizons Unlimited rally going on the whole time I've been here, and I'll have to say the internet speed was very difficult. I mean, yesterday afternoon I was trying to send a work email, and it may have been 200 kilobytes, something like that, but man, it took it probably 15-20 minutes. So I don't think really it's the same with any of these places like Blue Ridge Motorcycle Campground. And here, you know, here we are at 28. This is Moonshiner's 28. You know, you can't expect to go in there and do some heavy duty uploading because, or downloading. They're just not set up to handle it. Yeah. I wish they were, because I could get a lot more work done, but unfortunately they're not. You're only going to find that, I guess, at maybe some Starbucks and McDonald's, which there's none of those around here. But, or, you know, a nicer hotel that either guarantees it or you can pay for some extra internet speed. Okay. The rain is coming down pretty heavy. Having a quick check on my tire pressure. And it is 60 degrees outside, so that's not too bad. Yep, engine temperature. Okay. A bit warm. So on the GoPro with the rain, you probably can't see stuff, but normally you can see what speed I'm traveling here, what gear I'm in, and what mode I'm in. If you look close enough, you can see there it says rain. And then up here on the GPS, of course, it has distance before next turn right here. All kinds of stuff on here. My speed, the speed limit, time. And I got a jog wheel over here on my clutch lever. I can jog through a lot of different stuff. Compass, my speed again, my heading, elevation, the time that I'm going to turn, and then the time that I'll arrive at my destination. So there's all kinds of things. I won't take you through all that, but I generally ride in that mode right there with the map and things. So okay, so off we go. On 28, we're going to hit 74 on into I-40 down into Asheville to Eurosport. So I'll be clicking back in and out every now and then, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to ride for about a little bit here, and then I'm going to come back and tell you how the gear's holding up and things like that. So I'll be back in a little bit. Okay guys, been on the road a little bit, out to Bryson City, Cherokee area. You can actually take a right here to hit the Blue Ridge. And like I said, I'm not sure how well this GoPro's picking up in the rain. Even if I wipe it off, I know it's still probably ugly. But I thought we'd have a little conversation about rain gear since we're riding in the rain. And now I'll just say up front, I am no expert by any means. I just go by my experience. So if it helps you, great. If you don't care, you might want to turn the volume down and just watch the ride, or move the video forward. One of those two things. So there are a lot of options, I guess, when it comes to riding gear, motorcycle riding gear. Not near as many options to what's called rain protection or frog togs, or I know there are some other lines out there that you pull on over your regular riding gear because it's not waterproof. So we'll talk about that first, then we'll talk about waterproof riding gear. For several years I used to carry frog togs, which one of the things you need to be mindful of, frog togs makes a particular motorcycle line, and I know there's some other companies that do this also, but they pack small but not that small, so it's always something to consider. The size of the pack size. So you want to make sure that you consider that when you buy it. Now, the pros and the cons of something like frog togs or gear that you put on. So like if I would have left the lodge and it was not raining a little bit ago, and all of a sudden I come into rain like this, and I needed to protect myself from getting soaked, then I would have to find a place, preferably an underpass or pull off, rest area, whatever it may be, gas station, and get the gear out wherever I had it packed. And the top piece is not that difficult usually to put on, but the pants are usually tough to get over your boots. So you're probably going to need a place to sit down at best to get that on, and it works. So you get all your gear on, and the hood is I think vitally important on the rain gear, the frog togs, because the weak point to any kind of motorcycle travel is right at the neck area where the helmet and the jacket come together. That's usually where you're going to get water in. So with the frog togs, because they have a hood, you take your helmet off, put your hood on, and then put your helmet back on over that, and there you go. And it will keep you dry. But the condensation, there's the cons. The condensation from the suit is just horrific. I mean, it is so hot in that suit with all that gear on. And, you know, if it's not late fall, I mean cool, or wintertime, you're going to get hot, you're going to sweat, and, you know, you're probably going to lose about 5 pounds on a 200-mile trip just from sweating it off. So anyway, do they work? Yes. A little difficult to have to stop, time-consuming, put it on. If you're not in a hurry, no problem. It's going to be hot, absolutely. And then, of course, whenever it stops raining, you've got to stop and pack them back up and put them away, and off you go. So there you go. That's the one option, and I used it for several years. And you know, if you live in a place where you're not going to be riding in the rain that much, or you're taking a trip, the weather looks pretty good, and you think, well, I'm just going to throw them in my carry bag, travel bag here, just in case. So hey, no problem. And you haven't had to put a lot of money into Gore-Tex gear, and you're good to go. But for me, after several years of using the Frog Togs, I went on a search for just regular motorcycle gear that would protect me from the rain, that's completely waterproof. And by the way, let me just say this. You know, my experience is, unless it says Gore-Tex on it, it's not waterproof. A lot of times they'll say water resistant. So beware in the gear that you buy, and make sure you read the reviews. To me, there's just no reason why you can end up with some bad gear because of YouTube and so many other places that you can read about what you're thinking about buying, and listen to the other guys and taking it all into consideration. So that's kind of why I'm doing this little chat here with you guys on rain gear. So you know, if you find it interesting, great. But so I began to search, and the first gear that I ended up purchasing was Aero Stitch, and they have great gear. I had their pants and jacket. Completely kept me dry, no issue, very protective. But for me, it was just a little bit stiff, especially the jacket. I just found it a little bit stiff, and I like to be comfortable whenever I'm riding. So I ended up selling that, and I purchased Klim, K-L-I-M gear. That's what I have on right now in this rain. And you know, I've got Klim pants, Klim jacket, and my boots are Daytona boots, and my gloves are some Held, GLD, which are Gore-Tex. And they actually have double liners in them. One that has a Gore-Tex sleeve that you can put your hand down in to protect you from rain, and just another one for sleeve that you can put your hand in that's not protected from the rain. You can see them right there, maybe. So, you know, and people say, well, don't you burn up in that Gore-Tex jacket riding all the time? The answer is absolutely not, because they're vented. The pants and the jacket are vented so well that the air flows through and just keeps you nice and comfortable. Because let's face it, in the summertime, there is no gear really that you're going to get where you're just going to be completely cool, especially when it's in the 90s. You're just going to be warm. But anyway, that's the particular gear I chose to go with, and I got to say, in the many trips I've been in, it's not failed me. I love it. It's very protective, and to me, it's nice to know I've just got a pair of pants and I've got a jacket, and they're Gore-Tex, but they're also vented, so no matter where I'm at or what I'm doing, I can use this gear and I don't have to carry other gear. Now, the cons are it's expensive, or at least it was to me. It may not be to you, but you can go check out the gear if you want to. Lots of places carry it, like Revzilla, Competition Accessories, other places. Or you can just go to Klim, their website. And so, yeah, you have to really think that through as to what you're going to do. But one of the keys to me is not just jacket and pants, but also your feet and your hands is something to think about. Luckily, the GS has the hand guards to keep a lot of the water off. But these gloves are Gore-Tex gloves, so I mean, we've been riding 45 minutes and my hands are not even, I can't feel wetness at all. I can't, nowhere on my body. And these Daytona boots that I have on are completely Gore-Tex, and I've never had them give way in any way with any kind of rain. So, you know, it's up to you. I like having the security of knowing that, man, I'm going to get up and I'm going to have, even though it's raining and it's going to be a little difficult, I'm not going to have to worry about being soaking wet when I get where I'm going. I mean, my gear, you know, it's going to be wet, but not my body. And if you've never had rain to come in around your neck area and just make its way down, yeah, you know what I mean, and end up soaking your skivvies, I mean, and then sitting right on wet skivvies for a few hours and see how you feel. Yeah, I tell you, it's definitely something to think about. If you're seriously interested in motorcycling, it's probably a leap that you should consider taking, and just go ahead and buying some good gear and hanging on to it for a while. You know what I'm saying? All right. Well, I was trying to think if there's anything else about the gear. Yeah, I'd love to hear you guys' comments about this. Like I said, I am definitely no expert, but put your comments down below and tell me what you ride with. There's a lot of good rain gear out there. There's a lot of good motorcycle gear out there. I'd be curious too, also, if you found the same thing true as me. You know, if it doesn't say Gore-Tex on it, it's really probably not going to hold out rain. And so I'd like to hear. I'd just like to hear your guys' comments. What you all think? What you all recommend? And then maybe other guys can come here, read the comments on this YouTube video, and be helpful to them. All right. So let's head on up to Eurosport Asheville. The sun is up now. It's still raining pretty hard. Like I said, I'm not sure if this GoPro's getting any of this footage or not in this rain. Probably fogged up. I'm not sure if you can see out there the smoke in the mountains. That's why it's called the Smoky Mountains. That's where we're at. We're just across a couple of hills from Smoky Mountain National Park. And the GS is purring right along, just like it's not even raining. There you go. Maybe you can see that smoke in those mountains. There you go. That's why we're called the Smoky Mountains. Well, we're almost to Waynesville, North Carolina. Just past turn off to Blue Ridge Parkway. And so I thought we would talk about that just a little bit. Many times if I'm staying at Blue Ridge Motorcycle Campground, I'll get on 276 and go up to the Parkway and ride it along the ridge all the way down to right in here where I'm at. One of my favorite places to eat is Pasquale's Pizza here in Waynesville, North Carolina. But then I'll jump back up on the Blue Ridge and go back up to 276 and then back down. Lots of great rides over in there. 215, 276. I mean, I could go on and on. Anyway, the Blue Ridge. A couple of things if you've never been on the Blue Ridge that you might want to be mindful of, especially if you're going to be traveling long distances on it, is lots of times sections of it is closed, and you really should do your homework, you know, and check all that out. I think you can just go to the website and it tells you every place where they're doing road work or they detour you, whatever that may be. Anyway, you can go there and get all that information. And also here on this end where I'm at the Blue Ridge, it's up over to my right. Yeah, it can be extremely foggy and dangerous. So I mean, so bad that you can't see in front of you hardly. And so you might want to think about that early mornings if you're going to be headed up that way, or if there's a heavy cloud cover. You might want to give that some consideration. Also, one of the things, I have been up there many times on the Blue Ridge, but you know, the people are sightseeing because it is beautiful. I mean, it is just gorgeous. Every corner, it seems like there's something new, something different, and it's just amazing. So I highly recommend you ride it, but you want to be fully aware that people are not watching out for you, and they will cross the lines, and they are looking at the scenery and not for motorcycles. So it's like a double extra cautionary time, especially where the scenery is the best up there. You know, just beware of that, because they're not. And also, nothing against the Florida folks, but I have been on the Blue Ridge and cars actually come to a complete stop. I had a car come to a complete stop in the middle of the Parkway, and I think that's happened 2 times. Both of them were from Florida. So you're not going to make good time. You're going to be going really slow up there, and just keep all those things in mind, and it's a great time. But definitely jump down and ride all the motorcycle roads, you know, when you're over in this area, because there's a ton of great rides. Yeah. So we're coming through Waynesville, North Carolina, and the rain has looks like it's lifted at least a little bit. Still getting a little bit here. My rain gear is doing great. I'm completely dry. Love it. So I think I'm going to stop, grab some breakfast here in a minute, and then head on into Asheville. Okay, we're back in the rain again. You know, a lot of guys ask how's the GS1200 handle, especially when you're around trucks and airflow and everything. I have to say, I think it's just wonderful. I mean, the way this is a 2013, and the way they designed the front end, the fairing, and the windshield, and for the air to flow is amazing. So you can see I'm sitting here kind of watching this guy to my left very closely, and he don't come over on me. Now you probably can't see anything with these trucks. I mean, obviously one thing to consider when you're buying any motorcycle is wind buffeting, and if at all, take a test drive if you can. So, because it's huge, especially when you get on the interstate, you know. And we're in the rain, so I'm just cruising along here in rain mode, but I think what am I doing, 66 miles an hour, and you know, trying to keep the lens clean for you guys, and looking for breakfast. So we're going to stop and eat something a little bit. Looks like I'm going to be early into the shop, so I'm going to kill a little time and grab something to eat, and hope that this rain lifts off here before long. Yep, found it because I circled it. I remember. There it is. Black Friday. You can see all the names all the way around. post. Crazy. Here's all the BMW riding gear. Tons of bikes in here.
Find it really good.
Got some nice bikes in here, man. Look at that. It's just a really nice shop. Got free coffee, free soft drinks. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this ride. Thanks for coming along. The bike is just about finished. I'm going to head across the mountain. It's still raining, you can see. It's been a good trip. Let's head back to Johnson City. Remember to ride like you are invisible. See you next time.